Thank the gentleman. I'd like to recognize the gentleman from Iowa, Mr. Braley.
Thank the gentleman for yielding and for organizing this well-deserved tribute to my friend, my colleague, my mentor, and my hero, Leonard Boswell. Now, we've been talking about how Leonard is Iowa through and through, but Leonard, the secret is out. You were born in Missouri. And that was a great day for America, but I think that it has also been part of shaping the person you are. Because you know that we are much more than the state we come from, the region we come from, and everything about your life of public service has reflected that. Leonard grew up on farms in both Ringgold and Decatur counties, and amazingly was drafted into the Army on his 22nd birthday. Quite a birthday present. He served with distinction for 20 years, but the people who know him best can tell you that one of the things that made Leonard Boswell unique was he went from a draftee serving at the lowest levels of the Army to being encouraged to go to officers' candidate school. And what happens when you get commissioned is you actually have to resign from the United States Army in order to be commissioned. And Leonard did that and was commissioned as a second lieutenant on February 19th of 1957. Seems like a long time ago. But after his commissioning as an officer, you've heard how Leonard served 2 tours as a helicopter assault pilot in Vietnam. And Leonard, I know from doing a lot of interviews with Vietnam veterans for the Library of Congress's Oral History Project that everyone remembers that first day when they arrived in Vietnam. And for you, that was on April 12th of 1965. And I'm sure that you can tell us the sights, the sounds, the smells, the feelings you had when you arrived there. One of the things that Leonard never talks about, because he's too modest of a person, is the fact that he was awarded not 1, but 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses for his bravery and heroism serving our country in Vietnam. On November 1st of 1968, on his second tour of duty, Leonard became the Assault Helicopter Company commander for the 336 and led that unit with distinction until he finally retired and came back to the state that he loved and started pursuing other things. But Leonard has always been about service to country, service to family, and service to his faith. And so when an opportunity presented itself, he ran for office in Iowa, was elected to the Iowa Senate, became Senate President in Iowa in 1992, and then continued his career here, and we've heard the Minority Whip talk about how that all came about, and we are so glad that it did. Leonard has always been a strong advocate for military families. He has a lot of proud achievements in this body, but Leonard, to me, your proudest moment was when the Joshua Omvig Suicide Prevention Act was passed in the House, passed into the Senate, and signed into law by the President. And the reason why that was so meaningful to me personally is I knew Joshua Omvig's family long before he took his life. And for you to take up that cause and to give voice to the thousands of Americans who were losing loved ones to suicide, who had served this country with honor and distinction, was the cause you were meant to lead. And to me, that day when we passed the bill in the House floor was one of the highlights of my career in Congress. Because one miraculous thing happened that day. After you stood and talked about why we needed to do more for veterans like Josh Omvig, to help them before they got to that point of taking their own lives, an extraordinary thing happened. After you spoke, members on both sides of the aisle came down to the well and told the stories of constituents from their district who did the same thing that Josh Omvig did and put a human face on this crisis that was damaging our country. And that happened because of you, Leonard. And I have never been prouder of you. I've never been prouder of your leadership than the day that happened. And America owes you a grateful thanks for leading the charge and giving voice to that problem. But Leonard's courage and heroism just doesn't apply to his service to his country. Not long ago, when an intruder attacked his home and his family, Leonard was there to stand up and protect them as well. And you shrug it off, Leonard, but everybody who knows you knows that the outcome of that horrible moment was inevitable, that truth and justice were going to triumph because you were the one who was there at the right time and the right place. We are honored to have the privilege of serving with you. We wish you and Dodie and your entire family the best. Don't be a stranger. We're counting on you to continue to inspire us, and may God go with you.